Every day I wonder how I can prevent my patients from landing on the operating table. What can I do to protect them from heart failure, stress, fighting to life, and the uncertainty of tomorrow? Every year, almost 4 million people suffer from the heart failure and have to be hospitalized. About half of them die within 5 years of diagnosis. It causes 47% of all deaths across Europe. But it can be prevented. One of the early signs of heart failure is overhydration. What type of data is needed to detect early threats? The answer is basic health parameters such as blood pressure, pulse, weight, and the number of steps a patient makes. These are sufficient factors to assess whether a patient is in a risk group. This is where the idea of an algorithm that helps doctors make a decision comes from.
Almost every day in the project, we ask ourselves the question, what's the easiest and safest way to gather data from patients? What could they do at home to protect themselves from ending up on operating table? I believe that the solution is CardApp, application designed for patients to predict acute heart failure and prevent their hospitalization. Our application works for 72 patients at cardiology department. All of them suffer from heart failure. Every day, they use a pen and paper to gather some basic health information. Afterwards, they visit the doctor to let him analyze test results. In this application, patients can gather health data without any pen or paper. Patients can easily enter the results of tests they conduct at home. Once data have been submitted, patient sends them to the cloud-based system.
Once patient has completed his daily examination, the data package is created and transferred to the CardApp center. The CardApp solution is a context-aware system. It means that every time a patient sends in the data, his status is updated based on the algorithm calculations. That triggers an adequate response from medical personnel. For managing the context, we use the FireOrient Context Broker generic enabler. It is responsible for dispatching the contextual information towards other elements of the system, in our case, CardApp. In future, it will be responsible for delivering data to other eHealth applications for a patient being assigned to different treatment scenarios. Once the CardApp system has received data from the patient, it stores it securely. The dedicated algorithm for cardiac risk assessment is at the core of the CardApp system. The patient's current and historic data is processed, and as a result he can be assigned to a relevant risk group. However, the final decision belongs always to a doctor. Once the doctor has decided, the patient is notified about his condition, again using the FireOrient Context Broker generic enabler.
The real value for patient is quick reaction on threat. Imagine we can give you a pill instead of taking you to the hospital for a week. Why we are unique and different? Our solution is non-invasive. Unlike the competition, we can monitor you without a surgery. All of that leads to savings for healthcare. In the European Union, the costs of cardiovascular diseases reach nearly 196 billion euros each year. Assuming that our solution can prevent every fourth hospitalization, the savings would estimate around 23%.
Bardzo ciekawe.
Aplikacja bardzo prosta w obsłudze.
Bardzo prosta w obsłudze. Podoba mi się.